All right, welcome to another The Shades of Dominion update. Today we are going to be covering the latest development to the actual core set. We don't do this often because we're messing with established lore, but this was particularly special and it's long overdue in my opinion. And we're going to cover the creation of the bullet summons. The bullets now, what are bullet summons? Bullet summons, as you might have already guessed, these are a type of shade summon. They're a type of creature, a type of minion, a type of thing that you typically cast on your side of the battlefield as you go off and gallivant and adventure and destroy enemies and creatures and so forth. However, these little creatures are special in that they can double as enchantments for the various weapons and tools that you will use as you adventure. And what they do is these can only specifically be used to enchant ranged weaponry, bows, crossbows, uh, slings, and things that would require an ammunition. So you can technically throw an axe, but you can't use an axe uh, to enchant it with a bullet summon. It needs to be something that actually has um, either an arrow or a pocket or a rock or something. Additionally, they're a little more expensive, admittedly. To enchant them, they will cost an additional library point, so two spell templates instead of just one. So two library points instead of the one to add these or to enchant these to an item of your choice. Now, let's talk about the benefits. Um, First, naturally, each attack from your new ranged weapon will have a little more power behind it. That's pretty cool. That attack will also probably have a few new keyword abilities, whether that's cleave or uh, initiative, whether it's twin strike, or whether it's even something as something like poison. So it can have a new keyword. That's pretty cool. But the really cool part about the of an enchanted bullet weapon is that you don't need to reload it. You don't need to keep track of ammunition. The weapon auto generates its magical ammunition. And just to add a little cherry on top, you don't have to spend any more shade when you use one of these weapons. You hear that? You don't have to spend any more shade to unleash uh, a powered up attack with a magical ability anymore, and your weapon will never run out of ammo. Those are some nifty benefits. I do say so myself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the beginning, back with the first Aether Dominion, and we're going to start with the original inspiration for the card itself in Magic the Gathering. Then we're going to take a look at what they look like now in the Shades of Dominion. And lastly, we will then cover what kinds of weapons these new bullet summons can be used to make. And so let's get started. Let's throw some shade, everybody. Let's get at it. Now, some of you long-standing Magic players might be in for a shock when it comes to the inspiration for the Corruption Bullet, or perhaps you've played Black long enough to not be surprised at all. Behold, the humble Blood Pet. A poor wretch whose existence is doomed is defined by, sorry, a poor wretch whose existence is defined by doomed utility. either spent as an offering for more power or as a hastily thrown in chump block against an unexpected and usually much larger foe. The life of a blood pet is as distinguished as its own pathetic lifespan. But then we learned that from our new faction in the upcoming set, the Dementors, that ambition mages could do more than cut themselves to unlock the power of the Shade. And so the blood pet in the Shades of Dominion has been evolved by this new ability for the ambition mages to pay in their sanity instead. Behold, it becomes the ever useful blood sacrifice. Now, blood sacrifice is a little on the nose, but he's a cute little squeaker rodent, a cute little pudgy sack of viscera. He's a shade summon that has 1 power, 3 toughness, and you can also, like the blood pet, just sacrifice him for 1 corruption shade. But he only lasts for 1 turn. He's an intentional sack of blood. And at the cost of 2 library points, he can also be used to enchant the weapon. All attacks with that weapon add 1 damage. But we're going to see what this weapon turns into, and that is the Blood Bus. The Blood Bus is exactly what it looks like. It's a sawed-off shotgun, powered by the Shade. It is a combat roll, so you're going to roll your perception. Your opponent's going to roll their streetwise. And it reads, its powerful blast will feed you shade so long as you don't collapse from the shock. Attacks from this weapon deal 1d6 plus 1 damage. If the damage from this weapon causes a wound, you may place a stress counter upon yourself, and then add 3 corruption shade to your shade pool. Which is exactly what the description says. It's a powerful blast that will feed you shade so long as you don't collapse from the shock. And that is how this blood sacrifice becomes a blood bus. I think this was, I added the blood sacrifice to a crossbow, and that's how we got to the blood bus. So there you have it. That is your corruption bullet. Have fun throwing some shade at that. Have fun with it. Good night.